Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome again to my YouTube channel, Eric Broadus YouTube. Again, I say welcome to Eric Broadus YouTube. And for today's topic, I'm going to touch on some military content. And the topic is stagnation and the military career. Again, it's stagnation and the military career. Now, when it comes to being stagnant, one can be stagnant in one's personal life. One can be stagnant at a job. One can even be stagnant in relationships, or even in terms of athletics, or working out, with their health. Now, stagnation. What does it mean to be stagnant? Stagnant means to have been at a certain level and basically remain there. You're kind of stuck, and it's you have not moved forward, you haven't moved backwards, but you're just stuck in one place. And this can happen to anybody. But why do I bring this up with the military and having a military career? Well, those of you that are currently serving in the armed forces and those that have served, you understand that there's a such thing called high year of tenure. That's right, high year of tenure. And I'm highlighting this for those that are currently serving in the military, and for those of you that are not in yet but are considering a career or joining the armed forces. Basically, a high year of tenure is it's a certain time frame in which the military sets a standard or a limit for you to be able to be in a certain rank or grade before you are required to promote or progress. And if you don't advance from that grade or rank or in your career, what will happen is that the military will involuntarily separate that member. And so it is important, to progress in your military career. I mean, it's no secret, the military, each branch of service, is highly competitive. And the military, like any business or corporation, they have what's known as a bottom line. Now, on the civilian side, corporations and business, they have a bottom line. And this bottom line is measured against the profits that they bring in, their resources that they expend, and their assets and liabilities. And so a business or a corporation, they're going to measure it. They have metrics at which they measure, whether it be monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, or even annually. And they look at the production rate of what they're producing and what they're earning versus what they're spending. Now, granted, the corporations and businesses, they do have a budget, but their budget is based off of what they bring in, off of their profits, what they earn, and it could be maybe a couple of subsidies, but generally speaking, it's based on what they earn from their clients or their customers. Whereas with the military, they basically are given a budget, or Congress passes a budget or a bill every fiscal year through the Department of Defense. So that is how the military gets their funding. But like the civilian corporation, the military does have a bottom line. Even though it may seem like a lot of things are free, for everything there is a cost, and there is a dollar cost average. And so the military does spend money and resources, even though it may not appear that it may seem to be blanketed, but they do spend money on resources, and those resources are going to be equipment. It's going to be, you have labor such as man hours. It's going to be people. Food. Billets. Healthcare. So it's a combination. Even though the military member, the serviceman or servicewoman that's serving, they may not be paying for their medical or dental directly, but there is a cost and it's factored in there. So it is being paid for, and nothing is free. But the military, like any other organization, does have a bottom line, and they have standard and expectations, and they want a return on investment. Now, with the high year of tenure, no matter what branch of service you go into, there is a high year of tenure. And I've always called the military or the armed forces, I always called it a young man's military, because the military seeks to recruit individuals as young as they possibly can. Normally, it's about 17 with parental consent, but 17 all the way up till about 35, I believe, is the cutoff. So it's a young man's armed forces, and what they do, they measure for every GI or government issued personnel. They measure through a certain amount of time and how much use, or productivity they will be able to get out of that military member that enlists into the armed forces, and that they're going to have to invest money, time, and valuable resources in. So when the military does that, they do expect to get a return on their investment. They expect a certain amount of productivity, and they do expect you to advance in your career. Thus, the reason why they put the high year of tenure on is to put that pressure, or to set a limit, is for how long you may remain in a specific grade or a specific rank before you must get promoted or advance. Or what they're going to do is involuntarily separate you, and they'll make room for another member to be able to advance and take that slot. And so basically, they want the cream of the crop throughout your career. They want career progression, and thus you have what's called the military retirement is one of the earliest, 20 year, depending on what your grade. 20 years is the standard. And then after that, depending on how much more time you put in that particular grade, for enlisted, I think it may go up to like maybe 24 years for maybe E6, maybe E7, I think, or maybe 26. But for those in the grades of, say, maybe E8, I think it may be 27 or 28, and I think for E9s, I think it goes to 30. Now on the officer side, depending on how far you advance, I think generals, admirals, and whatever is equivalent in the Coast Guard, they can go up to, I believe, pretty much the same 30 to maybe as much as maybe 40 if they make 5-star or maybe 4-star. But regardless, all careers do come to an end, so they have a set limit as well, and after that time frame, you have to retire and make room for someone else to come in and take that spot. The military wants highly productive members, and that's why they set a limit, with a high year of tenure for a rotation to bring in, I guess you can say maybe fresh body or fresh minds, and people are their most valuable resources. And so you have to progress and advance in your career. And this is something that's going to be, it's going to be like a lifelong thing, at least for the time frame that you're in the armed forces. But yes, a high year of tenure, and that is a limit, of how long you may remain in one particular rank or grade before, according to the regulations and standards for each branch of service, that you either progress, or either they will discharge you, and they will make room for other individuals to take over that slot. Therefore, it helps to keep the military in each branch of service on the cutting edge with a revolving cycle of fresh individuals that are steadily advancing and moving forward, and they can get the maximum amount of productivity from these individuals. But what I intend to do is do a series and break down the high year tenure excuse me, for each branch of service. That way, for those that are in, it may be a reminder or a tap on the shoulder to figure out what it is that you need to do in order to progress and advance to your next rank or your next pay grade to prolong your military career. And this is also being highlighted for those that intend to enlist in the military, so that way you'll know what is expected and what exactly is the high year of tenure and the time requirements, that will be expected of you before you have to progress and move up, move up the career ladder. That's basically what it is. It's career ladder progression. So this will help you out and give you an idea of somewhat what to expect, so you know how to prepare yourself, and so that you'll be ready, when you do decide to enlist in the armed forces. But I'm gonna cut it off at that. I think I've said enough for now, and I will be coming out with a series for each branch of service and breaking down and letting you know what their high year tenure is for each pay grade and also each rank. So that'll give you a heads up. But that right there, I guess that's enough to chew on for now. But again, the topic was called Stagnation and the Military Career. Again, Stagnation and Military Career. And the name of my channel is Eric Broadus YouTube. That's EricBroadus YouTube, or ericbroadusyoutube.com. And I also have a podcast called Snacks Podcast, which is SNAKZTHOUGHTS. And you can find me on Anchor, Spotify, Spreaker, Radio PPM, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, and a host of other social media platforms. And please sub to Snacks Thoughts, and please join me and hang out with me over there, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Eric Broadus YouTube, and smash that bell so you can be a subscriber, and so you can get future videos, podcasts, live streams, and any other information that's pertaining to Eric Broadus YouTube and Snacks Thoughts. And smash that like button. Leave comments. I love to dialogue with you and hear your thoughts. And if you don't like the video, then hey, hit the unlike button also. Viewer interaction, leave your comments regardless. Love to hear from you guys. But that's all I have for this one. And push out Snacks Thoughts and push out Eric Broadus YouTube. Share it with your friends, your co-workers, family members, frenemies, enemies, goats, bats, rats, dogs, roaches, and cats. Share it, spread it out, and even get a possum in there too. Alright guys, that's all I have for this one. And thank you to all my subscribers. I really do appreciate you. Please spread the word about Eric Broadus YouTube and Snacks Thoughts. That's all I have, guys. Peace out and have a great weekend. See you on the next one. Later.